Good evening. This is Mrs. Bloom, and I am reading Artemis Fowl by Eoin Colfer. We are in the middle of chapter 5 since it was so long. In our last chapter, Holly Short, elf, met Artemis Fowl, master criminal. Artemis took her hostage, and right at the moment, Commander Root, who is part of the LEP recon, is on his way to try and rescue Holly. So we'll pick up with Commander Root. Root emerged shaking from the pod. He didn't remember it being like this in his time, although truth be told it had probably been an awful lot worse. Back in the shillelagh days there were no fancy polymer harnesses, no otter thrusters, and certainly no external monitors. It was just gut instinct and a touch of enchantment. In some ways Root preferred it like that. Science was taking the magic out of everything. He stumbled down the tunnel into the terminal. As the number one preferred destination, Terra had a fully fledged passenger lounge. 6 shuttles a week came in from Haven City alone. Not on the flares, of course. Paying tourists didn't like to be jostled around quite that much, unless, of course, they were on an illegal jaunt to Disneyland. The ferry fort was crammed with full-moon overnighters complaining about the shuttle suspensions. A beleaguered sprite was sheltering behind her ticket desk, besieged by angry gremlins. "There's no point in hexing me," squealed the sprite. "There's the elf you want, right there." She pointed a quivering green finger at the approaching commander. The gremlin mob turned on Root, and when they saw the triple-barreled blaster on his hip, they kept right on turning. Root grabbed the microphone behind the desk and hauled it out to the extent of its cable. "Now hear this," he growled, his gravelly tones echoing around the terminal. "This is Commander Root of the LEP. We have a serious situation above ground, and I would appreciate your cooperation from all you civilians. First, I would like you all to stop your yapping so I can hear myself think." Root paused to make certain his wishes were being respected. They were. "Secondly, I'd like every single one of you, including those squalling infants, to sit down on the courtesy benches until I've gone on my way. Then you can get back to your griping or stuffing your faces, or whatever else you civilians do." No one had ever accused Root of political correctness. No one was likely ever to. "And I want whoever's in charge to get over here, now!" Root tossed the stand onto the desk. The blare of the whistling feedback grated on every eardrum in the building. Within fraction of a second, an out-of-breath elf-goblin hybrid was bobbing at his elbow. "Anything we can do, Commander?" Root nodded, twisting a thick cigar into the hole beneath his nose. "I want you to open a tunnel straight through this place. I don't want to be bothered by customs or immigration. Start moving everybody below after my boys get here." The shuttleport director swallowed. "Everybody?" "Yes. That includes terminal personnel, and take everything you can carry. Full evacuation." He stopped and glared into the director's mauve eyes. "This is not a drill." "You mean—" "Yes," said Root, continuing down the access ramp. "The mud people have committed an overtly hostile act. Who knows where this is going?" The elf-goblin combo watched as Root disappeared in a cloud of cigar smoke. An overtly hostile act could mean war. He punched up his accountant's number on his mobile. "Bark, yes, this is Nimbus. I want you to sell all my shares in Shuttleport. Yes, all of them. I have a hunch the price is going to take a severe dive." Holly Short felt as though a sucker slug was drawing her brain out through her ear hole. She tried to figure out what could possibly have caused such agony, but her faculties didn't stretch to memory just yet. Breathing and lying down here were about all she could imagine. Time to attempt a word, something short and pertinent. Help, she decided, would be the one to go for. She took a trembling breath and opened her mouth. "Mope," was her treacherous reply. No good, incomprehensible, even by drunken gnome standards. What was going on here? She was flat on her back, with no more stretch in her body than a damp tunnel root. Could have done this to her. Holly concentrated, skirting the edge of blinding pain. The troll, was that it? Had the troll mauled her in that restaurant? That would explain a lot, but no. She seemed to remember something about the old country, and the ritual. There was something digging into her ankle. "Hello?" A voice, not hers, not even elfin. "You awake, then?" One of the European languages. Latin? No. English? Was she in England? "I thought the dart might have killed you. Aliens' insides are so much different from ours. I saw that on television. Gibberish. Alien insides? What was the creature talking about? You look fit. Like Muchacho Maria. She's a Mexican midget wrestler. Holly groaned. Her gift of tongues must be on the blink. Time to see exactly what kind of craziness she was dealing with here. Focusing all her strength on the front of her head, Holly cracked open one eye. She closed it again almost immediately. There appeared to be a giant blonde fly staring down at her. "Don't be scared," said the fly. "Just sunglasses." Holly opened both eyes this time. The creature was tapping a silver eye. No, not an eye, a lens. A mirrored lens, like the lenses worn by the other two. It all came back in a jolt, rushing to fill the hole in her memory like a combination lock clicking into place. She'd been abducted by two humans during the ritual. Two humans with extraordinary knowledge of fairy affairs. Holly tried speaking again. "Where am I?" The human giggled delightedly, clapping her hands together. Holly noticed her nails long and painted. "You can speak English! What sort of accent is that? Sounds a little bit like everything." Holly frowned. The girl's voice was corkscrewing right into the middle of her headache. She lifted her arm. No locator. "Where are my things?" The girl wagged her finger as one might at a naughty child. "Artemis had to take your little gun away, and all those other toys. Couldn't have you hurting yourself." "Artemis? Artemis Fowl, this was all his idea. Everything is always his idea." Holly frowned. Artemis Fowl. For some reason, even the name made her shiver. It was a bad omen. Fairy intuition was never wrong. "They'll come for me, you know," she said, her voice rasping through dry lips. "You don't know what you've done." The girl frowned. "You're absolutely right. I have no clue what's going on. So there's no future in trying to psych me out." Holly frowned. It was obviously pointless playing mind games with this human. The mesmer was her only hope, but that couldn't penetrate reflective surfaces. How the devil did these humans know that? That could be worked out later. For now she had to figure a way to separate this vacuous girl from her mirrored sunglasses. "You are a pretty human," she said, voice dripping with honeyed flattery. "Why, thank you, Holly. Why, thank you, Holly. I was in the local paper once. I won a competition. Miss Sugarbeet Fair, 1999. I knew it. Natural beauty. I'll bet your eyes are spectacular." "So everyone tells me," Juliet nodded, lashes like clock springs. Holly sighed. "Oh, if only I could see them." "Well, why ever not?" Juliet's fingers curled around the glass's stem. Then she hesitated. "Maybe I shouldn't." "Why not? Just for a second." "Oh, I don't know. Artemis told me never to take these off." "He'd never know." Juliet pointed to a view cam mounted on the wall. "Oh, he'd find out. Artemis finds out about everything." She leaned in close to the fairy. "Sometimes I think he can see inside my head." Holly frowned, foiled again by this Artemis creature. "Come on, 1 second. What harm could it do?" Juliet pretended to think about it. "None, I suppose. Unless, of course, you're hoping to nail me with the mesmer. How stupid do you think I am?" "I have another idea," said Holly, her tone altogether more serious. "Why don't I just get up and knock you out and take those stupid glasses off?" Juliet laughed delightedly, as if this was the most ridiculous thing she'd ever heard. "Good one, fairy girl." "I'm deadly serious, human." "Well, if you're serious," Juliet sighed, reaching a delicate finger behind her lenses to wipe away a tear. "2 reasons. 1, Artemis said that while you're in a human dwelling, you have to do what we want, and I want you to stay on the cot." Holly closed her eyes. Right again. Where did this group get their information? "And 2, Juliet smiled again, but this time there was a hint of her brother in those teeth. 2, because I went through the same training as Butler, and I've been dying for somebody to practice my pile driver on." "We'll see about that, human," thought Holly. Captain Short wasn't 100% yet. There was also the small matter of the thing digging into her ankle. She knew, though, that it could be, and if she was right, could be the beginnings of a plan. Good evening. Chapter 5 will be the death of me. The clip that I videoed is too long to upload to Facebook, and so I am going to split Chapter 5 yet again. So this is the end of part 2 of chapter 5, and I will redo part 3 of chapter 5 another time. Thank you.